Hello and welcome to the Goldenrod Podcast. I'm Ben. As always, I'm joined by fellow Pokemon enthusiast Conor to bring you some of the latest and greatest Pokemon news and a few laughs along the way. Although this
mostly
is episode
focusing
100.
on that second part today.
Second part, there is no news this week, okay? We have hit episode 100, and we thought we'd do something a little bit different and a little bit silly that we wouldn't normally do. We're going to use a randomizer to select two well-known Pokemon trainers throughout the entire mainline series, and we're going to pitch them against one another in a competitive format to battle it out with their Pokemon. And then once we've done that, they're actually going to duke it out in just a fisty match, a fisticuffs brawl to see who is the better fighter.
I guess so.
Because
it's really easy to train your Pokemon to do all the fighting for you, but who could actually stand on their own? Who could actually throw hands if it came down to it?
I'm looking forward to seeing a few of these names thrown up. I'm looking forward to some of the mismatches that we might have of, I don't know, Agatha versus Bruno or something like that. just something like that. Be absolutely hilarious. But before we jump into that, I just want to say, Conor, how does it feel knowing that we've hit 100 episodes?
It's a little bit unreal, actually. When you came to me with this idea a few years ago now, I was like, yeah, I suppose we could do that for a little while. And I remember you saying, I think a couple of months in, you was like, so you're looking at sticking to this? Are you going to do it for the foreseeable future? I was like, yeah, at least for the foreseeable future. And we're still here.
We're still doing it.
Judging by the comments on the last episode, it seems like a lot of people are really glad that we are. As we said, we've got a very dedicated fan base. By the seams of it, which is lovely.
We have.
And we also understand that we got so many questions on the last episode. We won't be covering them this week, but suggesting that next week has no news as we can expect, that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest with you, I think we do ourselves a little bit of disservice sometimes saying, oh, you know what, send in your questions, because sometimes they turn into topics rather than a question. Really do. So I get... And I want to start rephrasing that. So yeah, you can ask a question, which might be a shorter thing where we only cover it for a few minutes. But if you've got a topic, a Pokemon topic that you want us to cover, then send it in.
Or, as our fans like to refer to it, our tangent suggestions.
Tangent topics.
Yep.
Just
give us something that we can just go off on. That's what we want.
Yes. We can rant, we can rave about, we can enjoy it, and you can enjoy it as well. But without any further ado, shall we jump into this?
Yes, I did suggest before we do the randomizer to give people a bit of more of a clue as to what's going on here. We're mostly sticking to the games for the characters, because that's kind of what we know the best, and it's what I can get research up on the best and the quickest. But I think we would be doing it a disservice if we didn't have Ash Ketchum in here at least once, and the only person worth fighting Ash is his ultimate rival, Red.
Yeah.
So if it came down to a Pokemon battle, who do you think would win between Ash Ketchum and Red? And obviously this is both of them at their highest peak of strength. So
this is Ash winning the competition at the end of the anime. That's surely his peak team, right? Because he won the competition.
I don't even know if I'd say that's his peak team. I'd say, yes, he's got access to Z-moves, Mega Evolution, Dynamax. He's got access to his Ash Greninja if he wants. But basically, any Pokemon Ash has ever owned in his life is fair game as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Do you want... Which character do you want, then?
Well, is that what we're doing? Are we picking... Are we picking a character?
Yeah, let's... we should have discussed this. Okay. Well, actually, you know what? I think picking a character each, the problem with that is it's open to whoever's got the most knowledge. So actually, let's do it in a creative way where we both throw out the pros and cons for both of them. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And then we come to almost a decision on who wins. But saying that, if one of us really feels that one should win, then it maybe gets into a bit of a debate format. Yeah?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so should we start with Ash then?
Yeah.
So What's his peak team then? I guess Pikachu's in there as a starter, right?
Pikachu has to be in there, and arguably that's the same with Red. So these two both have a Pikachu on their team as a standard. I think you've got to pick one of the fire starters in there. As much as I love Charizard, I think you go Infernape.
Okay.
Infernape is just that much more powerful than Charizard, in my opinion. Sceptile's also one of his strongest. Here's the thing, though. Right. Okay. Let's do this the other way. You got Pikachu. That's one of his 6. You've then got to pick his gimmick Pokemon. I think you give him Ash Greninja for free because it doesn't require a Mega Stone or anything of the above.
Just a Battle Bond. Yeah.
So he's got an Ash Greninja.
Yeah.
Who's his Mega Pokemon? We've only ever seen him Mega Evolve Lucario. That's the only Mega Stone. That's the only Mega Stone I know him to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes with Lucario. We don't need to pick a Z move, actually, because he always chooses Pikachu for his Z move.
Yeah.
That 1000-volt Thunderbolt is ridiculous and super overpowered, so that's fine. Dynamax, we kind of got a lot of options here. He's obviously got the Gengar had Gigantamax capabilities. We don't know whether his Charizard could Gigantamax, because that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you thinking for this Dynamax spot?
Well, so we have to ask a fundamental question here, though, because in the games you can Dynamax any Pokemon as long as it's in the Galar region, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Gigantamax forms, literally, they don't give any additional stats, do they? It is literally just a form change.
Well, it's a different move. They get a different move.
Okay, so there is a benefit to having...
So, for instance, Dynamax Charizard that uses a Fire-type move will just do the Fire-type Dynamax move, whatever it is. But to have G-Max, Blazebird, I really cannot remember the Dynamax names off the top of my head. But to have Charizard's big fiery wings be sent away and cause burn over turns and things like that, you need it to be a G-Max form. We know Pikachu has a G-Max form. We know that Gengar got a G-Max form by giving it... Actually, that's a point. No, he has access to the Dynamax Soup. Because that's how he gets Gengar.
So we could just give... So we just saying he can choose any Pokemon?
He can choose any Pokemon that has a G-Max form to be G-Maxed.
Okay. Ooh. See, because I was going down the line of if it's only certain Pokemon he has. Didn't he have a Melmetal at one point?
He does. I think Melmetal could be in there. I think
it's a strong contender.
And Naganadel is another one in there.
That's is that pseudo or no? It's a legendary, isn't it?
It's an
Ultra
Ultra
Mythic.
Beast.
Is it an Ultra Beast? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Poison Dragon.
Very, very strong Pokemon.
And dragons are powerful. I think he needs a dragon on his team. And he's got Dragonite, he's got Noivern.
It's not Dragonite.
Oh, I agree. Dragonite was too nice. We said this in the anime review. It just wasn't... It didn't have the...
Yep.
Goodra
was great. He did really well with his Goodra.
Okay.
Noivern was fine from my memory.
Okay.
But Naganadel is probably the way I'd go with it.
Did he use it a lot?
I'm pretty sure he used it in the Championship of Alola.
Oh, really? Oh, I need to go back and watch those episodes. Okay. So, just to recap then, let's say we choose that one. We got an electric type, a water type, a fighting steel type, a poison dragon type. So he's got a nice little diverse team over here. So we're probably missing we are missing a fight. We need a fire type in there. You need one. So
I as much as I love Infernape, I think we could quite comfortably give Charizard the G-Max soup. And just give him a G-Max Charizard.
Yeah, because they're on good terms now. Charizard obeys, right?
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
He's one of Ash's strongest Pokemon. Came back during the Black and White series. Very, very strong Pokemon for Ash.
Okay, so we've got fire and flying there. So we've got one spot left open. Okay.
Oh, have we?
We have, Pikachu, Greninja, Lucario, Naganigdal, whatever it's called, Charizard. Okay. I would have said Surfetch would be a good contender. However, we've already got the fighting type in Lucario. We don't really want to be doubling up on types over here. We've got wasn't Hull Lucha really good as well? Although that
Lucha was really good.
Well.
His Snorlax is kind of bulky as well.
Okay.
Let me try and pull up all of Ash's Pokemon.
I'm looking at them now. He had a Heracross at one point.
He did. The Heracross was good fun.
He's got his Pidgeot. Pidgeot was a fighter once. Pidgeot was scrappy.
Pidgeotto did some work. I think Staraptor's a stronger bird than Pidgeot, unfortunately.
Okay. What about Torterra? Do you use Torterra much?
Didn't really do a lot. Really wasn't that great. He didn't get that many wins, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. We want to avoid that then.
You got Crocodile.
Primeape. Did he use it much?
He did. He took it to the Black and White Championships, which was his worst performance, if I remember correctly. But still a cool Pokemon. Do you take Heracross over? Do you take Heracross over Crocodile? I don't know. That dark ground type. It's nice coverage, isn't it? If nothing else.
Okay. So we've got his team locked in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like it. Okay. Red. Now, most people, I think, would just go straight to the battle at the end of Generation 2, which I think it changes, doesn't it, depending on which version of the game you are playing. So in the original, you had Pikachu, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Snorlax, and Espeon. In the remake, the Espeon is dropped for the Lapras.
And that is his team in everything. He has that same team in every single show up he has. In the Black and White World Tournament, in the Battle Tree, Pikachu, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Lapras, Snorlax.
Okay. So this team's pretty much set.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think we just bodied.
You think Red is getting bodied over here?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's break this down. Let's break this down then. Because we have... Red's Pikachu has one defining characteristic that Ash's doesn't. It's got the light ball. Do you think that makes a difference in this fight?
No, I don't think it makes a difference because Pikachu has that supercharge that it got from when it was trying to take on Brock's gym. And he got supercharged. Yeah. He got supercharged. And that is why he is so powerful. We've also seen Ash's Pikachu take on legendary Pokemon. It's taken on Zekrom. It's taken on Zapdos. Gone toe-to-toe with them. I don't care if you're carrying a light ball. And the other thing is as well, right? Pikachu in the games, very frail. How many hits does Ash's Pikachu take and get back up?
Oh, yeah. An absolute shed load. It has no reason to win as many fights as it does. And I can't even sit here and say that it's got plot armor because there have been big fights where Pikachu has lost. So you can't even argue it is the plot armor. You just have to argue that Ash's Pikachu just seems to be a top tier Pikachu. It must have like the perfect EVs and IVs and everything, and it's just built to fight.
Yeah, there is a reason that Team Rocket have been after it for so long. So I'd say Ash's Pikachu bodies Red's Pikachu every day of the week.
Okay.
Let's not forget that it's also got access to its Z move, which is just super powerful. Has super effective against 2 of Red's team, 3 of Red's team.
In fact, yeah, looking at Red's Pikachu, it's only super effective against the Greninja and the Charizard. And as Ash got older, he's a lot better at switching out his Pokemon when he needs to. I don't think Red ever really switches his Pokemon. Once he's throwing out that Pikachu, he's like, no, Pikachu's going for it. Until it's knocked out.
I think the AI is a little bit better in Battle Tree and World Tournament.
Okay.
So we're going to issue. But then again, that's the thing. Ash's Pikachu can come back and join the fight later. Red, if it throws out Pikachu, it's a glass cannon. It's there to do as much damage as it can in the amount of time it can. It's not doing much more. This is a little bit unfair because anime logic always is going to win this.
It is, unfortunately. But let's play this to its natural conclusion that, okay, Red has lost his Pikachu. Ash stays in with his Pikachu to start with. So that means that Red has to throw out, at this point, either the Snorlax or the Venusaur, right? Just because of type coverage.
Yeah, you probably throw out the Venusaur. Pokemon. It's got access to Earthquake and things. Makes sense.
I think in all likelihood, are we assuming Pikachu goes down here, or at least he switches out?
I'd say he'd switch.
So who does he? So he has to go out to the Lucario, right? Because Greninja's weak to the Venusaur. No. He could go out to the Charizard, thinking about it. Yeah, he goes out straight out to Charizard. Don't know why I was thinking there. So he throws out to the Charizard. So are we assuming there's a switching battle going on here, or Red just sticks with the...
I would assume they're playing to the best of their ability. So at this point, Red then probably switches out to Blastoise rather than Lapras. And thinks, hey, I've got the type advantage. This is great. This is Ash's Charizard. Ash's Charizard has bodies Gary's Blastoise in the past. No chance.
Okay.
I think Charizard wins this still.
And let's not forget, Charizard can Gigantamax.
Yes.
So I don't don't care about the type advantage. As you said, anime logic, a Gigantamax Charizard is absolutely wiping the floor with Blastoise. So I guess the question is, though, how many turns does it take to do that? I don't think it one shots. I think it two shots.
I think Blastoise actually lives the Dynamax and goes down to the burn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Blastoise wastes all 3 turns of Dynamax.
Okay, fantastic. So, at that point, Red has to send out the Lapras or the Snorlax. Has to. So, are we thinking... I think he throws out the Snorlax.
Snorlax does have thick fat.
Exactly.
So it's got a bit of strength behind it. It can do some damage here. Maybe just a body slam, something like that.
Yeah, I can see Ash going, Charizard, go in for to attack it like physically, which plays into Snorlax's strength of once Snorlax has grabbed that Charizard, it ain't moving. Whether or not it does Giga Impact with it, Crunch, something like that. I think the Snorlax takes down the Charizard here.
Yep. And then I think probably go out into Lucario.
Agreed.
At which point Red switches in for Charizard. And how do we think this goes? Red's Charizard versus Ash's Mega Lucario.
I can see that fight going down to the wire, where Charizard is obviously the stronger because of the type advantage over both fighting and steel. I think anime logic kicks in. Mega Evolution, and Lucario goes for some kind of like Stone Edge or some kind of rock move.
It does have that Spirit Bomb. Let's not forget about Lucario's Spirit Bomb.
I actually think that anime logic kicks in here and the Charizard goes down to Lucario despite the disadvantage. But as we've seen in the anime, just because a Pokemon has a type advantage doesn't necessarily mean it's winning that fight.
Yep. Bring back out the Venusaur. Venusaur finishes off.
Yeah, the Lucario. Yeah. So at this point, Red has got what? A Venusaur and a Lapras.
And the Snorlax is still about. He swapped out for the.
He didn't he? Oh, okay. This isn't as close as I thought it'd be. So at this point, does I think at this point Ash then has to go out to the Naganadel, right? Because it's anything else gets absolutely bodied by it. Naganadel has the advantage here, I think, but I think there's a little bit of Sleep Powder and Leech Seed going on from Venusaur to whittle down that Naganadel.
Yeah, it does have access
Now,
to both of those. I can see that working.
yeah, but as a dragon types sometimes get access to fire type moves. I don't know if Naganigal gets access to a fire type move, just to help to even out the playing field here.
Let's try and find.
Ooh.
Do you give me a list of your moves? No, it doesn't look like you're going
Does it
to.
not? Oh, okay. I'm scrolling down. So it just no. It does by TM. So it gets flamethrower, fire blast, heat wave. I actually think that
yes, but we're talking about Ash's one, which has toxic fury attack,
yes.
thunderbolt, X Scissor, sludge bomb, dragon pulse. So X Scissor, pretty strong here.
Yeah, and that dragon pulse. Let's not forget, dragon is a powerful typing. Grass and poison do not resist it. So between these two, are we thinking that the Naganadel just edges out this fight?
Yeah. I don't even. Yeah. I think Sleep Powder, Leech Seed does some damage, takes it down. But yeah, I think between X Scissor and Sludge Bomb and Dragon Pulse, yeah, it's doing all right here.
Yeah. So red goes into Lapras here, right? Hoping to land the Blizzard. Blizzard is not 100% accurate, and again, anime logic, I'd imagine that it's easier for faster Pokemon to avoid Blizzard in battles because they're just able to get around.
This is the sort of thing as well where I can see Ash being like, use Dragon Pulse at the sky! It just separates the Blizzard.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so do we think Naganadel is beating the Lapras, or do we think it is a case of the Lapras wins but takes some damage?
I think it's a tie. I think it's double KO.
Oh.
I think the Blizzard does a lot of damage. What damage it does, and then Ash gets out of it. And then they do one final clash. Thunderbolt versus Ice Beam, or probably. Oh, does it have Ice Beam? Must have Ice Beam at some point. Yeah, it does. So Ice Beam versus Thunderbolt. They both go down.
Okay. Yeah. So at this point, Red's
got
down to Snorlax, right? Yeah.
And Ash is down to his Melmetal.
No, hold on. We didn't choose Melmetal. He's got his Crocodile.
Oh, did we not choose Melmetal?
No, we got Crocodile.
Oh, he hasn't used his Greninja yet. Oh, well, that's it. Game over.
He hasn't used his Greninja. Game over. Between those two. I'd imagine if we want to kind of I think Crocodile comes in first. Crocodile and Snorlax battle out. Crocodile goes down, and then Ash, typical anime fashion, Greninja comes out. Battle bonds, seals the win.
Yeah. And if I'd known we hadn't chosen Melmetal, it would have been Melmetal over Crocodile every day of the week. But yeah, I think Ash wins this one. He's got a couple Pokemon still in the back. I think you could even argue that Pikachu does more than we gave it credit for. Yeah.
I think it'd be a fantastic battle to see. But let's be honest with you, at this point, Red is frustrated. He doesn't say many words. Ash sees him across the battlefield and they just lock eyes. And the fans know that both of them are out for blood. They jump onto the field and they charge at one another, okay? Ash runs, turns his cap around, and imagine Ash is going to throw a punch a bit like he did against that Mewtwo, right? Just throws it in. But let's be honest with you, out of these two, I think Ash is more frail. I think he's... I just see Red he's a man of few words. I could actually imagine the one time we hear him talk is in this fight where he just goes something along the lines of, "Is that all you've got?" I was like, oh! They throw down. Red's on top of Ash, like punching him. I just don't see how Ash wins this fight.
Okay, I'm gonna come back at you hard on this one. Red gets absolutely battered. Okay, not only can Ash take immense amount of damage. Like, he takes so much punishment in the anime. He can also hold thousands of pounds on his arm, outstretched, not an issue. He holds
What?
Cosmoem. He holds Cosmoem in his hands. Look up Cosmoem's weight for me real quick.
Oh god, this is anime logic.
Yeah, it is.
This is just... Hold on, right. Pokemon. Where? Oh, how do you even spell it? Cosmoem. Cosmog. Well, the one after Cosmog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cosmoem. Wait, let's find out. Where are you here? Wait. 999.9 kilograms.
So 2,200 pounds. Yep. And he holds it in his hand like it's nothing. Ash bodies Red every day of the week.
So, are we thinking this is actually not as what it's one-sided, but not on the side I thought? Are we saying that Ash just one-shots Red, like just flat out just cleaves his head off?
Oh, that's the other one. He holds a Fletchinder out on his arm, like just perched on his arm. Which, if you've ever held a weight out, you know this is a hard way to hold it. Fletchinder is 16 kilograms. Ash is a strong boy, and he takes an immense amount of damage.
Okay,
Ash ruins Red. It's not even
hard
close.
It's hard to. Unfortunately, we've only seen Red in the games, and other than maybe he's got strong fortitude. We did, but I don't know if he actually got into any fisticuffs or did anything. Okay, you know what? I'll give Red. Okay, fortitude. The fact that he's able to stand at the top of Mount Silver, which, let's be honest with you, is going to be cold, and he's up there. He's probably got some mental fortitude. He's like, okay, he's willing. Once he gets knocked down, he's willing to get back up because he's a fighter. I imagine to get up there, he must have a lot of stamina. I think that in Origins, he did a bit of running around when he was going.
I mean, he can bike across the entire country, but then again, so can Ash.
Yes, true. Okay, I think this fight then. I think it's a Ash 2-hit KO.
I think he takes a hell of a hit. Red gets back up, sort of wipes the blood off the side of his mouth, goes as Red does, saying nothing, just mumbling to himself. He goes in and Ash just ruins him. Yeah.
So Ash beats Red in both a Pokemon battle and a fisticuffs brawl.
So if you were wondering why we weren't doing anything other than pure games, that's why. Because the anime logic doesn't make any sense, and we haven't read enough of the manga.
No. Oh, I dread to think how much knowledge you would have to really break this down in a true, factual way. Let's move into the second fight. So I'm going to spin the wheel twice. Let's see who we get. So the very first one, this spin takes way too long because I've got like 146 entries in this. So, okay, Raihan. So the Hammerlock Dragon gym leader. And up next, we have... Is there a way for me to click this to make it do it even quicker? Okay, Raihan versus... Gardenia, the Turnit City grass type gym leader.
Dear.
I don't see how Gardenia wins this in any way, right?
Don't think so, unfortunately. We will double check. The difficulty is that Raihan doesn't really have that many teams. So what's his best showing? Oh, he does turn up at the Star Tournament. But he's got a Goodra, a Duraludon, Flygon, Torkoal, Turtonator. It's not
okay. So hold on, right? So Raihan overconfident turns up with 5 Pokemon. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know.
If you Gardenia
He's got access to a full team because he's also got the Conor that came bring along, and he's got the Gigalith and things like that. So we're going to assume everyone gets a full team unless they never ever have access to 6 Pokemon.
Okay. So Gardenia, this might not be as much of a whitewash as we thought because she is in the Pokemon World Tournament in Black and White 2 with a full team of 6
Pokemon. What you got?
So she has, so she's got a selection of Pokemon. So, Roserade, Carnivine, Cherim, Tangrowth, Leafeon, Torterra, but she also has access to Breloom and Tropius. So she's got 8 Pokemon to choose from here.
She also appears in the Battle Tower in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which adds Cradilly, Rotom-Mow, Milotic, Ninetales, and Venusaur.
Oh, okay.
I think that Milotic has to come along.
Agreed.
Just for a bit of coverage.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. I think then her team is probably built around the diverse typings. So you probably want to strip out a lot of the pure grass types to give us some of that coverage. So Roserade, grass and poison. Torterra, grass and ground is a fantastic typing and helps out with some of the fire types that Raihan has. Breloom, that fighting type, is fantastic against the Duraludon. Being able to land Drain Punch, Mac Punch. Tropius, I don't know what Tropius adds, to be quite. I don't know what it adds. It doesn't really add anything. Got Sunny Day that it can set up, but then that actually helps Raihan.
She has access to Ninetales with Drought.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well. These are, when it comes to Raihan, we know he likes to set up weather to help him out. And he usually sets up the sand, doesn't he? Like, that's kind of his thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no. So when you battle him in the league, he sets up the sand because he's got Gigalith for Sandstream. But in the World Stadium, he sets up Drought with a Torkoal.
Ooh.
So which one's Raihan bringing? Which one does he think benefits him more? I think there's no way he brings Drought to this. We assume that these two know they're going to fight each other, right? This is a preset tournament. I don't think Raihan brings Torkoal.
The Torkoal. Okay. So
because as much as yes, it helps his couple of fire type Pokemon out, the problem is that you got to assume maybe she brings Venusaur, which has
Sunny Day.
Well, not Sunny Day. Solar Beam. Solar Beam's the big one. Chlorophyll's the other one as well. You're speeding up her team.
Yep.
So it's a difficult one. Oh, she does have a solar power Sunflora with Solar Beam and only Solar Beam.
Does she? That's fantastic. That's actually fantastic. I think I actually am coming around on the fact that this might be a Gardenia win.
Okay. I really like the Torterra. Yeah. I think between the Torterra and the Breloom, they take out Raihan's biggest threat, which is the Duraludon.
Agreed.
Turtonate is a problem.
Yeah, like, how do you deal with that? And I think that Milotic gets Dragon Pulse. So it does get a move to help to shut it down.
It's got Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Hypnosis as well.
Yeah. Put it to sleep, hit it with a couple of Dragon Pulses. And let's be honest with you, you know what? I was going to say, if we're going by anime logic, we're not. We're going by game logic at this point, right?
Yep. Completely by game logic.
Definitely. And like Milotic bodies the Flygon. Like Ice Beam, Hydro Pump. That's gonna hurt that mon. The Gudra, again, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse. If she's got the Roserade, it's got Dazzling Gleam. Like that Gudra that I'm looking at does not even touch the Roserade. It's got Surf, Muddy Water, Rain Dance, and Thunder. It's oh no, it's got Sap Sipper ability. Oh, but we're using Dazzling Gleam, so that's fine. The Gigalith and the Sandaconda, Ground and Rock.
Do we
They're
think
getting taken down?
Okay, here's the other cool play that Gardenia could use. Do you think Raihan comes in with a strategy and goes, all right, we're going to send out Gigalith, we're going to set up the Sand Stream, we're going to get that chip damage, and we're also going to set up Stealth Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gardenia goes, okay, we'll go out into Rotom Mo, and we'll let you set up Stealth Rock, and then we'll use Trick and give you choice specs. Oh, no, wait, his Gigalith doesn't hold any items. Raihan's Pokemon never hold any items, so I don't think Trick works.
No.
Okay. All right.
But I think that who is he starting with? Because I don't think he starts with Gigalith, or I don't think Raihan can start with his rock or ground types, because the problem is he's going against Gardenia, who is predominantly grass type Pokemon.
Mm.
So I think he has to start with a Turtonator and either Duraludon or Gudra. I think Gardenia has enough coverage with her Pokemon to be able to counter them straight out of the gate. I mean, she's also got a Ninetales that I know has Drought, which could help out Raihan, but it has Will-O-Wisp. You land Will-O-Wisp on most of his Pokemon, they're shut down. They're physical attackers.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, the Turtonator's not, the Gudra isn't. Most of the other ones
the
are.
Flygon,
Yeah, you're right.
I think this is actually a Gardenia sweep. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking, yeah. Like, looking at the items as well that Gardenia's got in this setup, like a Breloom with Focus Sash, a Gradilli with Leftovers.
That is Raihan's biggest failure. He never puts any items on his Pokemon.
Yeah.
Gudra does have Sap Sipper.
It does. So, if we look
Gudra is
at...
basically a free switch-in to any grass-type move.
It is, yeah.
And I think Raihan's smart enough to predict them as well.
Yeah.
But it hasn't got a lot of answers after that. Oh, it's got Sludge Bomb.
Okay. Oh, so it has got... Okay. But
so,
I think that while that is a good strategy, it will only delay his loss, because he can only... Like, once it's swapped in, Gardenia knows at that point, well, I either hit it with a Fairy-type move, or just double in on the other Pokemon and just ignore Gudra, because it hasn't got a huge amount of coverage outside of the Poison-type move that you just mentioned. But again, some of her Mons are part Poison, so that Poison damages neutral anyway. I just don't see how Gardenia loses this fight. I think she comfortably wins, which I didn't think I'd be saying.
I didn't think I'd give it to Gardenia either, but I think there's enough here. I mean, people might be screaming at us just saying that, like, you know, any kind of drought just lets Raihan win, but I don't know. I don't know if I buy it.
I don't think I do either, because the Sunny Day only lasts for 5 turns. And, you know, setting up the Sunny Day, as we've said earlier on, it does benefit some of Gardenia's team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not something I thought, but I think we'll give it to Gardenia.
Yeah. But of course, the battle's over. Raihan is furious at this point. He's been shown up to all his followers, jumps onto the stadium, runs across, sprints across to Gardenia. Gardenia, you know, rises to the challenge, jumps over, and they just run at one another. I guess, what's the outcome of this fight?
So, the difficulty is that Raihan's a pretty boy.
I agree, yeah.
Like, he's not He's not scrappy. I can't see him throwing hands. He would be far too worried about getting his face punched in and his next Instagram post having to have a black eye. So I think he runs in, gets a good hit on Gardenia. Gardenia stands her ground, kicks him with her big boots, and he just goes down. Those are some proper, like, stomp on your head boots that she wears as well.
Yeah. I think Gardenia is one of those trainers that is sick and tired of being overlooked and being put down. Because, you know, she has the unfortunate disadvantage of not only being a grass type gym leader, one of the weakest ones, but also an early gym leader. I think she rises to the challenge and goes, you know what, I'm done people putting me down because of these two things. I'm just going all in and absolutely smashing this guy's face in. Like you say, I'd imagine that she could take the elements of surprise and maybe just grab the Rotom phone, which gives her an opportunity to attack because he's going to be distracted. He's going to want the phone back. He's going to want to make sure that, you know, nothing happens to it because he wants to use it to post on his Instagram or whatever it is. I think Gardenia just absolutely lays the smackdown on him. And what's worse is I don't think this is a knockout. I think this is Raihan going, no, okay, I'm sorry. Please stop.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a forfeit.
Yeah, agreed. So Gardenia wins both the Pokemon battle and the punch up.
Nobody saw that coming.
I can't believe that this is what just happened. Right, okay. Spinning the wheel again to see who we get this time. So we have got... Oh, okay. We have got Wickstrom, the Steel-type Elite Four member from the Kalos region, who will be facing off against Olympia, the Anastar City Psychic gym leader. Okay, right. Oh, does that straight off the bat, just thinking while we Google, Wickstrom, does he have the advantage here being a steel type gym leader?
Who's he against? Member? Sorry, I missed that one.
Olympia.
Olympia is the psychic
the Kalos. Yeah. So we've got a Kalos showdown over here. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so apparently there's a load of rematches against these trainers, which I never knew. But actually, looking at this, we might actually not have a load of Pokemon for Olympia to choose from. She's got Sigilyph, Slowking, Meowstic, and the more I scroll through this, she doesn't add any other Pokemon to her team during Kalos. We have our first trainer with only 3 Pokemon.
I mean, here's the big kicker, right? You've got Wickstrom, who has Gen 6 Aegislash. And if you don't know, it was ruined. It was broken. It was absolutely broken. He's also got Klefki, which isn't the most annoying Klefki I've ever seen. Does have spikes, does have Torment. Got access to a Scissor, got access to a Probo Pass. Yeah.
Wickstrom Wickstrom runs through this fight, right?
Ooh, hang on.
There's nothing. Go on.
He's only got 4 Pokemon.
Else? He has. However, he's got the Scissor with X Scissor and Night Slash, which are super effective against all 3 of Olympia's Pokemon. Like, say, Aegislash, Shadow Claw.
Oh yeah, she's only got 3. Oh yeah, like Olympia goes down.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the Klefki has Prankster with Torment, so it can prevent her Pokemon from using back-to-back moves. Not that it would get much use out of that. It just stops that Slowking from setting up with Carmine. Yeah, and then like Probopass. Again, like Probopass, there's nothing that really hits the steel types from Olympia's team. Like scrolling through her team, I Yeah, this is just a flat out. I mean, the Slowking does get access to Flamethrower in the Battle Chateau rematch, which might tip the scales a little bit.
And Water Pulse? That's a weird move to have on him.
Yeah.
Why Water Pulse and not just Surf? Okay.
I have no idea. So Slowking is the one that would prove the biggest challenge, but can we see Slowking taking down 4 Pokemon?
No, because it loses to Aegislash.
Yeah. I just flat out, I think this is an easy win. Wickstrom wins this fight comfortably. And, if he's anything like his anime counterpart, I'd imagine him taunting a little bit, being quite vocal. Olympia, I think, is, she puts on this nice, calm demeanor. I think she's absolutely livid about this and decides to, float over the edge of her podium onto the Coliseum arena. I think that she actually, calls out and challenges Wickstrom. Wickstrom is a man of honor, right? He's a knight. He's not going to stand for this. Wickstrom jumps over and they charge at one another.
So now, I was just doing a quick search to see if Olympia was psychic.
That's what I was thinking.
And she is, but she is psychic in a way that she can see the future, not in the same way Sabrina is psychic.
So, her ability. Okay, so I think that is a winning strategy, but I actually think Wickstrom, he's going to be weighed down in that armor. Is he going to be able to land a hit on Olympia with her?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What makes you say that?
He is a knight. He is. I don't think his armor is for show. We saw, granted it's in the anime, we saw him training both Sirfetch'd and whatever Pokemon Go brought along. I forget. But he is a knight and he does train regularly as a knight. Olympia can see the future and she can maybe see what's coming, but I don't know how much that helps you. Foreseeing your loss is not going to be great.
Yeah. At some point, one of them has to. I'm assuming that basically it is a case of no one leaves until one of you forfeits or is down.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think Olympia's psychic powers work in a way of I can see the future and then change it. It's just a case of I foresee what will happen. So I think she sort of runs at Wickstrom, sees the future that she loses, and goes, "No, I'm out."
Okay. She just realizes there's no point fighting this. I know I'm going to lose. No.
Yeah.
Okay. I have nothing to argue against that, to be quite honest with you. The psychic abilities she has got don't help her, or at least do not help her to win. So Wickstrom takes it.
I'd love for one of these battles to go one way and one the other, but that will no doubt happen.
I'd agree. I'm sure it will. So up next we have. Is that Nemona?
Oh, here we go.
Okay. This. Although I just want the other trainer to actually be someone that can challenge Nemona. I don't want it to be an absolute whitewash. So we've got Nemona versus Clement from the Lumiose City.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Okay, I know enough about Nemona that isn't where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Clement just to see what he has. I'm realizing that unfortunately the Kalos trainers don't have a lot of Pokemon to choose from.
He has an Emolga, a Magnezone, and a Heliolisk. Whereas Nemona, she not only has her team that you see during the game, we know she has an entirely different team that she already beat the league with from the previous run.
Yeah.
This isn't even worth looking at. I don't think this is even worth looking at.
So I'm looking at what she's got in Area Zero. She's got a Dun Sparse with Drill Run. That takes down the Emolga. It takes down the Helioisk. Actually, it counts as the Magneton. Magneton doesn't have Levitate. It has Sturdy.
Mhm,
So she's got Earthworm for Earthquake. Yeah, this is an easy fight. Nemona takes it. I don't think anyone will be saying we are wrong. Okay. Yeah, okay. At some point in the Kalos game, Magneton evolves to Magnezone, but it still only has Sturdy. Yeah. Nemona wins the Pokemon battle. But of course, they both see one another. Clement is just furious that Kalos is just getting absolutely rinsed in this big tournament. Now, Clement doesn't actually jump over because, as we know about Clement, he likes to have his inventions. So I'd imagine he's got some kind of machine that allows him to lower himself down from the backpack and over. Nemona, I can imagine, she just jumps down she's just delighted to see what these items are. Okay, yeah. I can
see her just being excited to have the fight.
Yeah. Does that allow Clement to... Does Clement have something on him that allows him to get the upper hand?
So Clement has his big robotic arm that comes out and can basically just pick Nemona up and yeet her across the room. He's got his big, solar dish, which can shoot out, sound waves and all sorts.
Really?
I think, honestly, Clement takes this. I think if it was no items, then probably Nemona would batter him. But
yeah, I could see Nemona being a scrappy fighter.
If we're coming down to they get all their items and all their abilities and things like that, then yeah, I think Clement could probably pull out a win. And then be told off by his little sister for beating up a girl.
Yeah, and this item thing, the majority of the times we see Clement, he has this backpack with his items, even so far as it's in the game, even though he never uses it. So that is just his standard equipment. I'm not going to argue that he doesn't have that. And yeah, Clement just absolutely takes this fight. A little bit unfair, but you know what? Them the rules, I guess.
Welcome to Pokemon.
Welcome to Pokemon. Clement wins. So up next we have so I might be pronouncing this wrong. Elio, the Gen 7 Sun and Moon male protagonist, I believe.
From Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? Specifically?
It doesn't say, so I would argue...
No, it is specifically Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna Google. I didn't even know this person's name before this. Against...
Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe they are from both of them. Are they? Are they the same?
Are they?
Oh, okay. Maybe no. They got different outfits, but apparently they are the same characters.
Same person. So this is a good one. Against Victor. So Victor is the Gen 8 protagonist, the male protagonist. So we have our first protagonist showdown, which we said before we started this, that this is going to be difficult because technically they are the stand-in for the player character and can have any Pokemon that they want. But I think what we could do, okay, to make this a bit easier, let's say they're at the end of their journey. The chances are they both have one of the starters. Victor likely has Eternatus and one of the legendary dogs, one of the legendary wolves.
Here's the other thing as well. These guys also have access to basically every legendary ever, because one has Ultra Wormholes and the other one has the Dynamax adventure. This is kind of the closest fight ever.
How are we going to A, settle on a team, and B, settle on the outcome of this? It feels like this could be a whole episode. I'm not quite sure how we approach this. I don't know if you've got any ideas. I mean,
okay, in which case you take it on who was their strongest opponent. So the way you measure like comic book characters, you base it on feats. Like who's stronger than who? Well, this person has done a stronger feat than this person. Who beat the strongest opponent? It's Gen 8.
Yeah.
Leon is the best champion we've ever had. I mean, I know there's still an argument for Cynthia being stronger than Leon, but I don't see it. I think Leon is one of the strongest characters we've ever had in the game. I think Eternatus is a much harder fight. Oh, I was going to say Eternatus is a much harder fight, but then you've got
Necrozma.
Ultimate Necrozma, no.
Yeah. Hold on. But, hold on. Elio is able to beat that on his own. Victor needs the help of
2 legendaries.
And 2 legendaries.
And let's not forget that Elio is taking out all the totem Pokemon as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This would be an interesting one to know what the comments think, but of course we can't do that right now.
I think the Ultra Necrozma takes it, you know? I think that's the harder fight.
But that's only the harder fight because it's 1v1. If Victor had to take on although would Victor beat Eternatus 1v1?
No.
I don't think he would.
Not at that stage of the game, no.
No.
Because you fight Ultra Necrozma before you have access to your legendary, right?
Ooh, I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
When do you fight Ultra Necrozma? I don't think you have your legendary at that point. I think you're riding on the back of a borrowed one. No, you can't have Ultra. You can't have it because Necrozma has fused with them.
Fused with it.
So Elio beats one of the hardest fights in any game ever without his legendary Pokemon. And Victor only wins a hard fight because he has the help of 2 legendary Pokemons and his mate. Yeah, sure, he takes out Leon, but you can even arguably say that it's canon that he brings Eternatus to that fight because there's a line for it.
Yes. Yeah, and even Leon lost to Eternatus as well, so you can't even really use that as a bar of measurement. Yeah, Victor beat Leon, who's the best of the best, but Leon also lost to...
Leon lost to Eternatus before it G-maxed.
Yeah.
Before it had any of its boosts.
Oh, yes.
I think Victor takes this.
Wait, we're saying Victor... Sorry, no, Elio
Sorry, no.
this,
I think Elio takes this.
Takes this for taking down Ultra Necrozma. And I think as well, something else that we do have to factor into this is the fact that Victor, I can see Victor, when he's in the dens and he's beating all those legendary Pokemon, again, they're raid Pokemon. He's beating them in 4v1. Elio, when he's going through the Ultra Wormholes, he's battling all these legendaries, Ultra Beasts 1v1.
I think Elio's just a better trainer.
Elio's a better trainer, which I didn't expect it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So Elio wins the Pokemon battle, but of course Victor is not happy about this. He's being shown off. He doesn't want to, embarrass Hop, who's in the crowd cheering him on. So Victor jumps over the edge and starts sprinting towards Elio. Elio, I'd imagine, is quite laid back, being from the Alola region, and they're all about, love and friendship.
Well, he's not from
and
the
all that kind of
Alola region,
stuff.
remember?
Sorry, but he spent time in that region.
Yeah.
It rubs off on him. So he, in the end, I think he's baited to come down. They square off. But do you think Victor is a bit of a dirty fighter, being from
the
UK? That's a sand in the eye.
Okay, here's the question. How much strength do you think you need to have to hold on to Solgaleo or Lunala whilst traveling at the speed of light.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of see that as the Pokemon has some kind of field around it that protects you. I think, but then it's still buckling, isn't it?
Mm.
To them, you're
the one guiding it.
Strength. Yes. And there's no like stirrup or mount or anything. It is literally you are just holding on. Do we see Victor do the same with either of the legendary dogs? I don't think we do, you know.
I don't think he rides the horses either.
No.
You know, and Solgaleo's 500 pounds, 230 kilograms.
Okay.
Whether or not he's obviously not lifting the entire weight, but he's still steering it. How much does a horse usually weigh?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, right. Okay. About the same size as a horse. Okay.
And you know what? Actually, it's not even that. The Poke Ride rides a Charizard. You've seen how that Charizard swoops down and he just jumps on. He rides a
Tauros.
Sharpedo.
He rides a Tauros and runs Sharpedo as well. They both like run through boulders, which means he's taken at least some of those to the face.
Yeah.
And carrying on as if it's nothing.
Yeah. Victor rides a bike.
He rides a bike.
So, like, that's the most he does. And let's be honest with you, like Elio, however you pronounce his name, he's seen some stuff. He's been to the future where, like, what's it called? Guzzlord has just demolished everything. He has seen some stuff, so I don't think he can really be intimidated. The worst Victor's ever seen is
almost the darkest day,
which he got bailed out of by
the dogs.
The dogs. I think in a fight, I think that despite the fact that Victor probably fights dirty, I can imagine Elio has enough grit to get him through this.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard fought fight, but I think Elio takes it.
I think he does, you know. Not how I thought that one was going to go.
No, agreed. Definitely not. Okay, so up next we have, this is going to be fun. Will, the Psychic type Elite Four member from the Kalos Johto region. So he's from the Gen 2 games, and will be facing off against Bay, the Stow-on side fighting. Oh, okay.
Oh, B.
Okay. B, sorry. I don't know why I call her Bay.
We all know why you call her Bay. It's fine.
I love it. Will from Pokemon. I don't know a huge amount from Will other than the fact that his design is a choice. So you actually rematch against Will after you have all 16 badges. So Will does in fact have a full team of 6 and appears in Pokemon Stadium 2. So Will actually has a bit of a diverse team. Okay. Whereas Bay, does she only use a maximum of 5
she's
Pokemon?
got Hitmontop, Pangoro, Surfetched, Gigantamax, Machamp. She's got the Graplocked, Holucha, Phalanx.
Okay. So she has enough to build a team of 6.
She does, but do any of these
they're all fighting?
Do any of these have any answers to a fighting type Pokemon? Machamp has Knockoff. Surfetched has Brutal Swing.
Brutal Swing. Pangoro has Night Slash. But what we need, but I think actually what happens here is Bay comes to this fight expecting a load of Psychic type Pokemon. But what we can see from Will is while, yes, he does have a lot of Steel Pokemon, in Pokemon Stadium, he has access to a Clefable. He has access to Electabuzz, Mantine, Flareon. So I think she comes geared to this fight thinking, okay, all I need is Dark type moves to shut Will down. And Will has an answer. I mean, Mantine has Wing Attack. We've got Electabuzz, which also has Psychic for some reason. Chansey also has Psychic. Chansey also has Counter. And with
fair.
its high HP, you know, Chansey normal type takes a super effective attack, has enough HP to tank that attack and counter to one-shot any Pokemon that B throws at it.
She does have access to a Gardevoir as well. Sorry, Will has access to a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Which,
so
although wasn't a fairy type
typing.
when he was using it, it would be now.
Yeah. So I actually think Will takes this quite comfortably. I think he might lose one or two Pokemon, but I don't see how 3 of 6 Pokemon with fighting type moves is able to take down Will's team of 6, primarily psychic Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup for B, really.
It is.
This is gonna happen, but it's just not looking great for her. Unfortunately, Will takes it.
Will takes it.
She then runs up and kicks him in the head, and that's an instant KO, right?
Yeah, Will. I think would be overconfident, showing off. He's got a bit of the flair for the dramatics. So he launches over. He's like applauding himself. He's walking around, arms raised. B just goes in for the kill, right? B doesn't mess around.
No, she fights her Machamp on a regular.
Yeah.
He takes one kick to the head and probably dies.
Just goes straight down. Yeah, and let's be honest with you, from what we've seen from B in the anime, she's a very much no nonsense, no mercy character. She shows absolutely zero restraint in this fight. Will gets absolutely just thrown around and knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the next fight then, where we have Charon. Oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. Charon will be taking on Skylar. Oh, okay.
So a Gen 5 matchup. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Again, I don't know a lot about these two, so it'll be quite interesting to see.
So Charon's going to be a difficult one because he's got so many Pokemon. Because he's got the World Tournament, he's got his team rematches, he's got his champion team.
Wow.
Who does he bring to this?
Okay. Tell you what, shall we start with Skylar? It feels like Skylar's the easier one to narrow down her team, because then that opens up Charon's team to go, okay, what are the counters? Unfortunately, looking at Skylar as a flying type gym leader, every single Pokemon she brings is part flying. The primary typing changes. She's got a couple of psychic flyings in Swoobat and Sigilyph. Skarmory is steel and flying. Swanna is water and flying. She has Mandibuzz, which is dark and flying. Archeops, rock and flying, but everything else. Oh no, Driftblim, ghost and flying, Jumpluff, grass and flying. So she has enough diversity where I don't think she's bringing a normal flying type, except for maybe that Braviary. Because a Brave Bird, Rock Slide, U-Turn, Superpower, it has a nice diverse moveset. Superpower, super effective against a lot of the Charon's normal type Pokemon. But he's only a normal type gym leader in the sequel game. In Black and White, he has a diverse team.
In Black and White 2, he still has the same team. He just doesn't use it in the gym. So he's still got his Liepard, he's still got one of the monkeys, he's still got his Unpheasant, his Gigalith, Haxorus, and a starter.
Yeah. So
that Haxorus is great.
Yeah. I mean, even if we just look at the movesets of the 3 Pokemon I'm looking at right now, Haxorus has Rock Slide, Gigalith has Stone Edge, and Emboar has Head Smash. All rock-type moves.
Yeah, Stoutland is very strong. You've got Porygon Z with a Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever bring the cast form.
No, definitely not. But if he brings the Laponi, it has Ice Punch, Statland Wild Charge, Buffalant Wild Charge. I actually think this is, in all likelihood, an absolute sweep for Cherin.
Yeah, Cherin was champion material. The only reason Cherin isn't champion is because the player character exists. Whereas I don't think Skylar could ever claim that.
No, definitely not. So
Cherin
takes
trainer, but yeah.
Cherin takes it. But of course, neither of them are happy with just having a Pokemon battle. They want a physical throwdown. They both jump over. Now, this is an interesting one. Are you leaning towards Eron? Because I don't know enough about them.
So
who I think would win.
Cherin's a bit of a posh boy.
Okay.
He is very focused on strength. Skylar is a pilot. I don't know if that means anything for her fighting capabilities. I mean, I'm almost looking at it going, well, Skylar at least has a little bit of maneuverability in her outfit than Cherin does. I mean, if you ever try to fight someone in a shirt, it's not great.
No, he's wearing really tight clothes, tight-fitting clothes, which doesn't give you a lot of... Yeah, true. True, yeah. But Skylar, if I'm looking at a sprite from the generations, she can at least move her legs quite comfortably. Yes. It looks like, whereas Cherin, in those tight trousers, I think he's going to struggle to move around. Cherin also seems like the kind of person who would maybe get into a fight, think, I've seen plenty of fights, I know how a fight goes down, I've got this, only to end up strangled by his own tie. I could just see Skylar playing a little bit dirty, and Cherin feels like one of those typical I don't know how to describe this, but what's that mean where it's like while you were out partying, I was studying the blade. He seems like that kind of person. Do you not think?
Yeah.
He pushes up his glasses. He's like, I estimate you have a 3% chance of winning, and then gets absolutely bodied. It's because he's never actually been in a fight before.
I'll tell you what, going back to the Pokemon battle real quick, there's a reason we're not doing Masters EX as well, by the way, because some of the Pokemon they get in that is crazy. Both of these characters just so happen to have access to Tornadus in Masters EX. But Skylar's is the Therian form.
Oh, so it is. But she also gets access to Togekiss. Woo! Okay, right. To wrap up this fight, then, I'm voting for Skylar. I think Skylar wins.
I like your idea that she just strangles him with his own necktie until he gives up.
By the way, we said we'd only do this for roughly an hour. We're coming up to an hour and 13 minutes. So we've obviously been having a load of fun. Should we do one more?
Only one more? Go on. We'll do one more and then see how we feel.
We'll see. Okay, so we've got Geordie from Generation 8, the Chichester gym leader, and they are going to be taking on... Oh, it's thinning! There's so many to choose from. They'll be taking on... Oh, is that... Grant, the Silage City gym leader. So Rock versus Rock. But again,
okay.
Grant is a Kalos.
He is. I think he's going to suffer hard being a Kalos gym leader. We've seen how they've performed so far.
Okay, so Grant gets 2 Pokemon. Aurorus and Tyrantrum. Are they strong enough to take down a full team of 5? Oh, no, just Geordie. So Geordie gets access to Barbaracle, Shuckle, Donjurna, Colossal,
and
Tyranitar. So it's 2 versus 5.
I don't think there's any way.
I don't know. Tyrantrum has access to Earthquake. It's super effective against the Stonjourna, although Stonjourna has Body Press. Yeah. So, I think if Grant also had a team of 5, I think Grant would take it. But looking at, although saying that, hold on, light screen. Is light screen physical or
light screen special?
Special.
I believe.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say sends in Aurora, sets up, but actually light screen doesn't really
Whereas
benefit.
Shuckle on Gordy's side does have sticky web and stealth rocks.
So Shuckle goes in, sets up, and then the rest of the team can just come in and wipe the floor in a 4 versus 2.
And as much as, yeah, you're right, Tyrantrum has Earthquake. I mean, we'll even give him a free Horn Drill. Why not? He gets 1 Horn Drill off. I still don't think it's enough. I think as soon as you Gigantamax, that Colossal is taking enough. Actually, I don't know. A ground type move against Colossal kind of does a lot of damage.
But then...
How bulky is Colossal? Let's have a look.
Barbrackle...
Barbaracle's going to do some damage here, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's got Shell Smash as well.
120 defense on the Colossal. It's quad effective. I don't know. We're overthinking this. This is a 2v5. There's no way Grant wins this.
Yeah. No, definitely not. However, both of them, angry, decide to climb down. Because, of course, the Rock-type gym leaders, they both climb down their respective podiums and lay it at one another. But who is taking a matchup?
Gordy's got the weight class advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But Grant is a rock climber.
Which requires some physical strength, right?
It requires a lot of physical strength and the ability to know how your body moves and to maneuver it around. Now, again, that's not saying he can fight, but he's surprisingly toned given the size of him. Would Gordy just take it given how much weight he has on him, though?
So, Gordy also has, from the artwork I can see, a stone ring, which is basically a knuckle duster. But Grant does have a couple of stones, I believe, in their hair.
Yeah.
And just like one in either hand, swinging them. But again, I think Gordy I think Grant gets in a couple of hits because, more agile, moving around a lot. But I think once Gordy grabs him, that's it. He ain't letting go and just smack. Grant goes down.
Yeah, it'd probably just choke him out, really.
Yeah. So I think, I think Gordy wins both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. That was a quick one. Let's have another, shall we? Let's treat the audience to another one. We have Price of Mahogany Town. Oh, okay. So a Gen 2 gym leader, a Johto gym leader, versus. Oh, interesting. Oh, who's that? Hapu. Oh, okay. That's a matchup and a half, isn't it? So. Price has a full team of 6, so that's a start. What has Hapu got? Has Hapu got enough to fill out a team here? Don't think Hapu does.
Doesn't she?
Oh no. If we are willing to say that she can take Pokemon from both Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, she does create a full team of 6. So in all likelihood, it is Golurk, Gastrodon, Crocodile, Flygon, Mudsdale, and a Alolan Dugtrio.
That's
a lot of ground-type Pokemon then. A good team, but a lot of ground-type Pokemon. However,
versus an Ice-type gym leader.
An Ice-type gym leader. And Price has access to Abomasnow, Dugong, Glalie, Frostlass, Walrein, Mamoswine, Jinx, Weavile, Cloyster. Has a nice set of Pokemon. And if we are taking Pokemon Stadium 2 into account, also has access to a Hitmontop, a Quagsire, a Donphan, Tentacruel, an Articuno.
An Articuno, yeah, okay.
An Articuno. Legendary Pokemon coming to this fight. And unfortunately, I think half of her team don't have access to a rock. Sorry, no. 2 of her 6 Pokemon don't have access to rock type moves. So they're gonna struggle against that Articuno. Mudsdale, unfortunately,
it's got a heavy slam.
Water, got heavy slam. You know what? It has got stamina as well. But is it going down to a single hydro pump from Lapras?
Probably.
Yeah. And
or
the Gastrodon.
You got a Bomber Snow there as well, which is going to do damage.
It's got Woodhammer. Yeah, Woodhammer one-shots the Gastrodon. Crocodile. Yeah, it doesn't really hit any. Yeah, Crocodile, Dugong counters that easily. Flygon hit with an ice type move. It's gone. Golurk is probably the one that puts up the best fight, having Dynamic Punch, Stone Edge, and Earthquake.
But isn't Dynamic Punch the one that if you have to like not get hit that turn?
No, Dynamic Punch has 50% accuracy. It's very strong. Confuses the target, but it only has a 50% chance to hit. Not Gastrodon. Golurk, from my understanding, isn't very fast either. So is it able to get off?
Oh, it has got no guard. So it always hits.
Oh, always hits. Okay. But the problem
but then you're just opening yourself up to Blizzard.
Blizzard, yeah, exactly. I don't see how Hapu can take this personally.
No. Unfortunately.
I think Price wins the Pokemon battle, but Hapu, angry, ready to show down, jumps straight over. Has to wait a little bit for Price, because I think Price is, he's a bit older. He takes his time with his stick getting down. Especially if we're going with his original appearance in Gold and Silver, where he looks just a few moments away from death, opposed to, where he did get a glow up in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But in this fight, do you see any way that Price is taking this fisticuffs fight against Hapu?
I don't think so. I mean, okay, I know we're not covering in the manga, but even in the manga, he's in a wheelchair.
Okay, like, he is
an old man, and Hapu, she does like raise horses, and she is like crossing tough terrain every day. She can go hard. Like, I reckon the girl could have hit you. And
agreed. Yeah, agreed.
And I think Hapu seems that one good jab in the side, and Price is just going over.
He's going down. I mean, even if Price was a little bit younger and, fighting fit, Hapu seems like the type of person who would not... She seems like the kind of fighter that once she starts fighting, she doesn't even care about her own well-being. She gives off that kind of, no, I'm all in at this point. So, yeah, I think Hapu takes the physical fight, whereas Price takes the Pokemon fight. I tell you what, we've got time for one more, haven't we? At least one more.
You're having too much fun.
I'm having a bit too much fun. Elaine from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Okay. I'm not entirely sure. Is Elaine the female?
I assume so, yeah.
Yes, she is. They'll be facing off against Karen, the Dark type Elite Four member from Pokemon Generation 2, right, Karen?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because Karen has a diverse team. Despite being the Dark type gym leader, Elite Four member, she has access to Vileplume, Murkrow, Umbreon, Gengar, Houndoom, and then when she gets a bit of an upgrade later on, she has access to Weavile, Absol, Punchcrow, Spiritomb, And if we're looking at over in Pokemon Stadium 2, also has access to Magmar, a Victory Bell, a Persian, an Electrode, and a Slowbro as well.
So there's a very bit of variety to her, which I really quite like. Unfortunately, we did say before doing this that the protagonists effectively have access to every Pokemon in the game. You can't catch Alolan forms in Let's Go, can you? You have to have them traded over. You can swap a couple of them, can't you? You can trade for them.
Yes, you can. Actually, I think you can trade for all of them off the top of my head across the respective games. But also, I've just noticed on the Bulbapedia listing for Elaine, this listing is of Elaine's known Pokemon in Pokemon Evolutions: Pikachu, Rapidash, Mewtwo. She has access to a Mewtwo in Pokemon Evolution.
I mean, we assume she's got access to Mewtwo because she is a protagonist. But are you bringing Mewtwo to a fight with a Dark leader?
I think you are, because it gets access to a couple of fighting type moves. And I think that while Mewtwo, yes, it is at a disadvantage against Dark type moves, I think Mewtwo has enough of a moveset and its stats are so good that you can compensate. It also has access to recover. It has access to screen moves as well. I think that Mewtwo is on her team, but alongside things like fighting types and fairy type Pokemon.
Yeah. It's a hard one because, of course, one of them is a champion. That's the difficulty. Is one of them is an Elite Four member, one of them is a champion.
Yep. I think that, again, it's difficult to break this down simply because we don't know Elaine's full team, but like we said, she has access to all 151 Pokemon from the Kanto region. That gives her enough diversity to build a team to take down Karen.
Yeah. And they've also got access to their super busted starter as well. With just like all of the crazy moves and
in all likelihood, this either Pikachu or Eevee probably solos most of the team. For those that don't know, the starter in Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, you cannot transfer it out of that game because this is how busted it is. It has perfect stats. It has access to moves that are only available to that gives it diverse moves. Like, we're talking about a Pikachu and Eevee that has access to water moves, grass moves, fairy moves. Like, it just has so much diversity that the starter probably wipes the floor with Karen.
Unfortunately.
I think Karen goes down. But now we have to talk about the physical fight between these two. Let's not forget, Karen is a full-grown woman. Elaine is what? 12 years old, maybe?
10, 11.
Yeah.
And probably has the easiest journey of any protagonist.
Yes, no, I'd agree with that, yeah. Doesn't really have to overcome much in terms of obstacles. Those are times where in the original games, the player character had to overcome them. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, typically you have help from Trace or Blue rocking up at some point. So they didn't really, like say, they had a much easier journey of it. Karen is a Dark type Elite Four member. If we're talking about, Pokemon Dark types just being evil or that, leaning.
But Karen is very specific on the thing that's because people misjudge Dark type Pokemon. And she sees the good in them, and they are her favorites, and that's why she uses them despite their bad reputation.
Okay. I like that fact. You're right.
I don't think Karen is gonna fight dirty. I think she would walk over and be like, you know what happens now, right? Don't make me hit a child.
You know what? Actually, I think that while what you said is absolutely right, that Karen sees the best in dark types, I think she's the kind of person that would play up to the reputation of, you know what type of Pokemon I use, right? And just be, oh, okay, yeah, then you're right, you do use dark type Pokemon. You're probably quite evil. I think I'll just bow out with this. Yeah, I think Karen.
I think there's still an argument as well that although, yes, the dark types aren't necessarily evil like people give them the bad reputation for, she still managed to tame a Spiritomb. She's still managed to tame a Weavile. She's still managed to tame a Houndoom. These things can't be easy to manage. I reckon she's got bitten and hit a couple of times by her Pokemon along the journey. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know why we're talking about it. Of course, she beats up a child.
Yeah, she would absolutely beat up a child. Right, are we wrapping it up there after doing, I don't know how many battles we've done there.
We will, unfortunately. I think if you want to see this again in the future, you're going to have to let us know.
Yeah,
obviously,
agreed.
If you're watching on YouTube and things, hit like, subscribe, send us comments saying you really enjoyed it, that kind of thing. And if you're listening on any other podcast platform, 5-star. That's the highest rating you can give us. Do it.
Do it. Give us a 5-star. And of course, if it allows you to leave a review and we will read it out. If you've got a comment, a question, or a topic, you can reach us by leaving a comment on our podcast on YouTube, by emailing goldenrodpod@gmail.com, by leaving it on our Discord channel, by using the hashtag goldenrodpod on Twitter. I can't believe we've hit 100 episodes. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that's stuck with us. And, we've never seen a dip, have we? We've never seen like, oh, no one's listening this week.
No.
There's always been listeners.
They really didn't like the Hot or Not episode, which was a bit of a shame, but that's fine. We won't go back to that. You have made yourself heard.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. We just wanted to try something. We thought it'd be a bit fun. But you know what? If you want to see us do something different, something more like this, if you wanted to see some kind of versus, some kind of comparison, some kind of rating, let us know. Ultimately, while we will talk about Pokemon news as and when it comes out, in those weeks where there is no Pokemon news, I think it's fair to say that the topics are up for grabs. If you've got something, let us know and we'll happily talk about it. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support over the last year. It's been absolutely fantastic. And it is one of the things that makes it so enjoyable. Just having someone listen to me and Conor just talk a load of nonsense a lot of the time.
It is. It's every single week, we pump this out. There's been, 3 weeks we've missed. I've had to
something like that.
Have someone cover me 3 times or something like that. We do our best. It's fun to do every single week. Again, I enjoy it, just chatting with you, being able to just dive into Pokemon, share a bit of my knowledge, not have to think too much, if that makes sense. I don't have to do a whole lot of study for this. I know you put more work into it than I do in that front. Yeah, just thank you. Thank you for having us.
Definitely. And that's the show for this week. If you've gotten this far, you're just a top dollar, aren't you? Of course, as we've already said, leave a like, subscribe if you're over on YouTube, or if you're listening on a podcast, whatever that podcast platform of your choice is, please do leave a review. Just help us to spread the word and hopefully get some new listeners people to talk to, which is always fantastic. Conor, where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel at Captain Fidget or on Twitter at CapFidget.
I'm Ben. You can find me as Professor Hoenn Gaming on YouTube and Professor Hoenn on Twitter. We'll be back next Friday for another week of Pokemon podcast content.
See ya!